Underway in Big D on a Friday night. Celia Cullen feeds Jams Wheeler on the first attack. From the right side, Grace Lopez. That's in. Alex, what she was able to accomplish as a freshman is absolutely remarkable. And this is somebody who wasn't even signed heading into her senior year of high school.
Honestly, that is just remarkable because even just playing out of high school and club volleyball, it's really hard to transition into the college game. Not getting recruited super early, she probably didn't go to very many college camps, and get that college training, but it seems like she did really well in her freshman year.
Yeah, very much overlooked coming out of Puerto Rico, but she has been brilliant at the college level. This is Rodriguez, the Olympian for Team Dominican Republic. Light touch from Jams Wheeler. Get the Mustangs their first point. That leads to our keys to the match from Alex.
Most teams are making changes late in the season so they can prepare for the tournament. Miami is going to have to make quick adjustments for some plays that they may not have seen in the SMU film. Along with that, they're going to have to spread out the offense. Colon and Lopez are the team kill leaders, and the next hitters have almost 200 kills less than them. Miami needs to establish the middles early so SMU can't camp out on the pins. As far as SMU, Miami is the #1 in total assists and team kills in the ACC. SMU must serve them out of system to make it harder for the Miami offense to have good looks on the attack and score. As well, Miami is 4th in team service aces. SMU needs to focus on getting good passes and not perfect passes, so a tough serve doesn't get their passers out of rhythm.
Able to get it off hands, Maya Tabron with her first kill of the evening, and we're tied at 2. Casey Batenhorst at the service line. Her 13th ace on the year gives the Mustangs their first lead.
And I really commend Casey Batenhorst because coming in as a serving sub for most of these games, that's a super tough position to be in. You're usually cold coming off of the bench, and then it's such a high-pressure situation. Hats off to her.
Hurricanes scored the first 2 points. Mustangs have scored the next 3. Canes tied up. Heredia Colon on the attack. She is the ACC leader in total kills, now up to 368. And Colon at the service line. May have traveled out. Jams Wheeler went after it, and Miami gets the ace.
For both of these teams that are very consistent behind the service line and have tons of service aces on the year, we're going to see a lot of that this game just as the passers try to get a little bit inside of themselves. We just need a good pass and not a great pass.
28 aces make it 29 for Heredia Colon, back-to-back.
That ball, even from this angle, was pretty in. I think the SMU passers need to do a better job of figuring out who has what seam and communicating early.
Cullen to Foster. From the right side, Tabron all alone on the block.
A lot of this game is going to be about momentum. I've watched a lot of Miami games from this year, and they are a huge momentum team. So SMU needs to make sure that they start off strong, and they did just here with Tabron in that block.
Solo work. 5-4, Miami leads with the best server in the ACC at the line, but that one travels long and wide. Rosado, senior defensive specialist in the libero jersey today. On the overpass, Tabron's there.
Tabron seems like she's really locked in even early in this game. We've seen her with a pair of kills. That was a great swing that she had before that ball, but just keeping her eyes on the ball and staying locked into the play is really key for her early in this game.
Pulls the Mustangs back within 1. Celia Cullen goes on service. Back to Lopez, and again, it's the SMU wall. This time, Tabron teaming up with Nadie Okamore.
Okamore looked great for that block. She pressed over just at the right time. Her penetration above the net was amazing. you can see her just getting that inside hand.
6-6, Mustangs and Hurricanes. To the opposite for Paula Gushing. Long trying to go cross court. Mustangs in front, having scored the last 3. Light touch on that serve. From the back row, Heredia Colon. 2 kills for her so far.
Colon is a player that the Miami Hurricanes are going to look for both in the front row and the back row going into today's game. She really is a rock for this team offensively.
And her identity is to be aggressive. Nyesha May, dug out by Gushing. Again from the back row. And Heredia Colon able to put it down on the floor.
Right now, it looks like Colon is doing a great job of controlling her swings. She saw 2 blockers in front of her, but was still able to power through them just with her precise timing.
One of the best scorers on Miami's roster. Mustangs tie it up on the service error. First of the day for Miami. Here's Tabron, already 2 kills on 3 swings in set 1. Again to the opposite side for Gushing. Continuation, and Gushing in on that back line.
That was a smart play by Gushing. She saw that the tip had not been successful in the play before, so she knew she had to go for those high hands and hit that deep corner, and the defender really was pulled in for that.
Gushing was an all-conference player last year at Hawaii, making her way to Miami this season, and the Mustangs tie it again, this time at 9.
Chris, I think we're going to see a lot of this back and back this game.
Miami on a 4-game winning streak. All of those matches at home. It started with Stanford, then Cal, NC State, and Wake Forest. Now back in Texas, where they've had a lot of success this season. Jams Wheeler trying to hit it off hands, unsuccessful, and a point goes to the Hurricanes.
I think something important to call out about that play is Dahlia Wilson hit that slide like a middle usually would, and then she went to go block on the right side. I think that's something super interesting about her, is that she's played both right side and middle.
And Rodriguez drawing those high hands back as Wheeler was on the attack. Heredia Colon unsuccessful that time. Nyesha May. SMU able to keep that point alive. To the back row, Lopez. 17 kills in Miami's win over Wake Forest on Sunday, and that's her second here on Friday night.
Lopez has had 7 double-doubles this year, and I think we can see why. She's also hit above 314 matches. She is extremely efficient.
Foster, firepower.
Head coach Sam Erger says that Natalie Foster has one of the best arms that she has seen on a middle. I think right there is a great testament to why she says that.
Get a radar gun on that one. Hardest ball we've seen hit tonight for either team. Hurricanes lead is trimmed to just 1. Again, Lopez from the back row. Brooke Frazier feeding Jams Wheeler. Lopez below the net. No, they'll say point continues despite protest from Celia Cohen and other Mustangs. And Shamay is able to score the point for SMU.
Both teams are extremely scrappy. I think we can expect to see some really long rallies tonight.
And had that point gone to Miami, I think the challenge card would have come out. That looked like it was below the net on the Hurricane attack. As the saying goes, ball don't lie. Mustangs still captured the point. Back to Rodriguez, the Olympian. Youngest player on that Dominican Republic roster in Paris. Team DR went 1-3. Picked up a 4-set win over the Netherlands. Jams to Chimay, free ball for the Canes. Feeding Heredia Cologne. Hurricanes go up by 2.
Cologne just has such a powerful arm on her. That ball was set perfectly to where she was able to hit into the split between Natalie Foster and Celia Cullen and get the kill.
Canes back up by a pair. Cullen back set to Foster.
And Foster may have been late to the last block, but she said, I've got y'all right here. She is so efficient. She's third in the ACC in hitting percentage with .391 on the season.
One of the only players better in this conference at hitting percentage, Corey Lewis. And Foster and Lewis will go head-to-head on Sunday when Florida State comes to Dallas. Here's Batenhorst entering for Wheeler. Dug out by Nia Chimay. Tabron nearly had it. Back to Lopez. And the Hurricanes up 2 again, 1 point away from sending us to our first timeout. Heredia Cologne, 19 kills, 11 digs, both to lead the Hurricanes in their win over the Demon Deacons on Sunday. Lopez just has to send it over. Free chance for Tabron. Can't get it to the floor. Light touch from Cologne. Tabron again. Over to the right side from the back row, Chimay. Longest point we've had so far. Foster can't get it past the Miami blockers. And Miami is the first to 15 in set 1 on the Hilltop. Hurricanes looking for their 4th win over a ranked opponent this season. New Orleans as part of the Sugar Bowl Classic. Hurricane Ivan canceled that event, so Miami and SMU, along with a couple other teams, decided to relocate and get their games in that weekend here in Dallas. 20 years between matches, but it will not be that long between number 2 and number 3. There's Natalie Foster with her 3rd kill.
Natalie Foster is someone that SMU is definitely going to be looking to, especially so they don't get into these long rallies with Miami as the night goes on.
20 years between game 1 and game 2. It'll be a much shorter period before seeing the Hurricanes again, less than a year. Now that they're mates in the ACC. Tabron and Lopez wins that battle.
That was an extremely smart play by Lopez. She saw that the lead ball from the defender on Miami's side was a little tight to the net, so the only thing that she could do was either go over the block, but she decided to test it and swipe off of those hands.
Yidalise Rosado, the senior out of Puerto Rico on service. Okamore can't hit it through. Now a chance for Tabron. Lopez was there to counter. Point to the Canes, a 4-point lead now.
This Miami team's defense is just impeccable from the digs to the blocks. SMU is having a hard time defending them right now with the cover balls to give them another chance just because they have them on their heels.
Sam Erger leading SMU in her 3rd season. Kano Gondara on the Miami side. Become a member of the Block Party. Erger last year, the American Conference Coach of the Year. She is a builder, and what she's done in such little time in Big D has been remarkable. And I think, Alex, it all goes back to her philosophy of person over player.
For sure. She is a huge culture person. I think that's the best place to start, because you can have the best players that you want, but if they don't mesh well together, they don't play well together, if they don't have fun with each other on the court, then you're not going to have that great team that you're looking for.
And then Kano Gondara on the other side, 12th year as leader of the Hurricanes. Miami has been to 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments in his time, 7 overall. Before that, 8 years as an assistant at Washington, stops at UNLV and his alma mater, UC Santa Barbara. And then you go back to when he was a player for the Gauchos. He was a middle blocker, earned first team All-American honors in 1989. And the year before that, helped UCSB reach the national championship game. And that win over Stanford 2 weeks ago, Gondara told us that it showed him that the Hurricanes are capable. But in this conference, Alex, the margin is so thin. No matter who's across the way, there's a chance to win or lose every single night.
Every night you have to be playing your best volleyball, because really every team in the ACC is so competitive, arguably one of the best volleyball conferences right now, and everyone is playing their best volleyball at the end of the season. So you have to make sure that you're showing up ready to play.
Here's Cullen after the latest kill from Okamore, her first. Lopez right at Brooke Frazier. Frazier saying it hit the antenna, and in fact that is the ruling. Point to the Ponies.
It looks like she knew before it even came her way that it hit the antenna, and there was no reason to even play it out.
Here's Cullen. Right back to Lopez, trying to go cross court, but long.
It seems like Lopez is trying to try out her different shots early in this game. You know, the last one, she hit the antenna trying to go line, so she tried that.
For the list for anybody on this team as far as their experience as a student athlete, a trip to Hawaii, followed by coming back to Dallas to knock off the Huskers in front of the biggest crowd in SMU volleyball history. These student athletes are collecting moments, and there are many more to come here this year. From the back row, Frazier can't dig that one out.
They're going to look to Cologne a lot tonight, especially in the back row. If their front row offense is struggling particularly, we've seen SMU go on a run of a few points, so I'm not surprised that they went back to her.
Coming out of the timeout, Miami gets back on the board and regains a 2-point advantage. The Hurricane block party continues. Wilson and Rodriguez, third block of the night.
SMU is going to have to continue to try to get good passes so that they can spread out their offense, because right now this Miami block is really not taking no for an answer.
And an ace for the Hurricanes gets them to 20. "26 aces on the season for Lopez." And Sam Erger wants to talk things through, trailing by 4. Flor Marie Heredia Cologne, ACC leader in total kills, entering the night already up to 5 in this match on 10 swings. No errors for her either, Alex.
That's insane, hitting 500. She takes a huge load both offensively and defensively for this team, but you can't tell her composure is just intact through every point.
So far, it's been a lot of firepower from her, but Coach Gondara told us that her off-speed game is fantastic, great roll shots and tips, and now that she's adding a changeup to her arsenal, that really magnifies her strengths.
He also said that at first she wasn't as efficient as she is now, and he's really let her work that out through trial and error, getting those different reps. So definitely it has worked out in her case. I think a lot of great players need to rep it out, especially in their career, to try out different things and see what works for them, and she's definitely figured it out.
Heredia Cologne has played in 92 sets, which vaults her kill total a bit. It's at 367 entering the night. Olivia Babcock is the leader in the ACC from Pitt as far as kills per set at 437. Significantly fewer sets played at 75 this season. That's partly because the Panthers sweep pretty much everybody. Not as many opportunities. Nia Chimay able to put it in front of the would-be blockers for Miami.
You can see Nia Chimay after that play saying good set, and I completely agree. It has to be a little higher because Nia Chimay can really jump out of the gym, but she was able to clip the outside of that middle blocker's hands just before she was able to penetrate the net.
Too much room there between Wilson and the netting. James Wheeler trying to get it over the top. Right back to the back row and long.
Again, the SMU Mustangs need to be looking for Cologne to get those offensive attacks tonight. She's already had a great game starting off. 5 kills, 1 error if that one was out, hitting 364. So I can imagine the Miami Hurricanes are going to keep going back to her.
Well, that leads to our first official review.
Miami is challenging a ball in or out. Original call is out. Miami will retain their challenge.
Ball is in. Miami gets the point. Sam Erger continues her conversation with our low official, Charlie Tamez. Again, Ben Piper is high today. Amanda Gates and Christopher Gill down the lines. After the reversal, it's Miami 21, SMU 17. Okamore gets the point back for SMU with a hard shot to the floor.
And that is one way to come out of a reverse call. Nate Okamore is not someone who you see get the ball very often, but when she does, she definitely makes her presence known.
And Ellie Bolton will go back on service for SMU. Mustangs trailing by 3 in set 1 at home. Bolton goes short, pancaked by Rosado. And Natalie Foster hitting it right back at Rosado and gets the point.
I can imagine that head coach Sam Erger said, run your middles during that timeout that they had during the challenge call.
Mustangs within 2. Foster now up to 4 kills on 6 swings. Chimay and Foster unable to register the block. Point goes to the Hurricanes, and Heredia Cologne continues her fantastic opening set.
From first glance, that looks like she hit the antenna, but it seems like the block just wasn't in the right position and clipped the antenna on the way out.
Milana Moisito, the junior out of Illinois, on service. Miscommunication there. That's a rarity for this SMU offense with Celia Cullen at quarterback.
I was just about to say, I think SMU is doing some really unconventional things to their game right now. I think they're getting tested in ways that maybe they haven't seen. They're getting blocked more than usual. They're going to have to cover the ball. They've had a couple of service errors already early in this game. Definitely seems like they're falling apart and need to gain some composure.
Cullen feeds Shumay. Now a chance for Lopez. Tabron's there for the dig. Now Wheeler on the attack. Heredia Cologne. Bolton couldn't keep it off the floor. Set point, Hurricanes.
That is already her 8th kill of the set. She's hitting 615. As well, she already has 2 serving aces.
24-19 Canes. Mustangs trying to start a rally back. That's a good beginning.
And on the other side, you've got Natalie Foster, who is extremely hot right now. One of head coach Sam Erger's mottos is repeat what works, and Celia Cullen definitely needs to keep feeding Foster.
Nice Shumay. Hurricanes can close it out. And of course, it goes right back to Heredia Cologne. 9 kills for Miami. SMU preaches fast starts, did not get one in this match. We'll see how the Mustangs rebound. That's a good beginning to set 2 as Nia Shumay goes up tall to put that one back to the floor.
The Miami outsides are both very athletic, but I mean, it is a great matchup for Nia Shumay. She knows that she maybe doesn't have to reach so tight to the net like she does in some previous games in the ACC, and she has to go reach for that ball.
Back to the right side, and Heredia Cologne for Miami already into double digits. That's 10 kills.
Chris, I would be interested to know what is the record for the fastest number of a player to get to those double-digit kills.
Nice Shumay, a little too strong.
Definitely seeing this SMU team come out more aggressive than they were in that first set.
And Alex, we have a couple of fantastic sports information directors here on these staffs at SMU and Miami. I'm not sure they can guess that particular stat quickly, but I imagine they'll try. If anybody can do it, they can. 2-2. Casey Batenhorst re-enters on service. Batenhorst had an ace in the opening set, now 13 on the year. That's Paula Gushing, the senior from Germany.
She plays smart and high-level volleyball. We've seen a pair of tips from her already this game, and just powering through the block. She really sees the court very well, especially where the blockers are set up to be able to hit those splits.
3-2 Hurricanes. Rosado put it into play. Now Shumay into the campfire.
SMU is definitely going to have to mix up their shots, especially early in this set, to get this Miami defense on their heels, because right now their block and their defenders and passing are doing really well.
And Ellie Bolton will have service. Grad student, transfer from Creighton. She's averaging 1.8 digs per set this season, has one so far tonight. Miscommunication on the set. Mustangs get a gift.
I know Mustangs are taking a deep breath after that one. They feel like maybe they've gotten their first break of the game.
Gives SMU a 4-3 lead. After the attack error by Dahlia Wilson. Feeding Lopez. Mustangs keep it alive, but Cullen can't send it across the net.
We can see head coach Sam Erger on the side just clapping her clipboard. I think she's thinking the same thing that all of us are, that SMU just needs to settle in. They're having a lot of unconventional errors in this game already.
Cohen to Foster, and we saw some firepower from Foster in set one, but Alex, that time all she needed was a nice tip.
I think spreading out the offense and definitely mixing up their tools for these SMU Mustangs is going to be key in this set because, again, like I said, those Miami defenders are playing really, really well and getting everything up.
Dahlia Wilson denied by Chimay. Now Tabron. The back row, Foster and Tabron are there. 4 blocks for SMU.
Even though SMU is having a little bit of a slower start, I wouldn't say that Natalie Foster is. She's already had 6 kills on 8 attempts, hitting .625, and that's her second block of the night.
Here's Chimay with the Mustangs leading by 2. Lopez hits the back line. 6 kills.
Both Lopez and Cologne have over 30 attempts on this game already, and the next people have only 6 and 4.
Gushing puts it in play. Now Tabron right at Gushing, and Miami can't do anything with it.
Seems like SMU is really trying to push that tempo right now to find this Miami team on their heels.
Tabron coming off her 9th double-double of the season against North Carolina. Her 6th in conference play. And Heredia Cologne continues to amaze. 11 kills.
Cologne is just so impressive. Her arm swing is so fast. Her visibility on the court is great. Honestly, that SMU block was set up really well. It just seems like the SMU libero just maybe was a little bit of inside of the block.
Tabron to Cullen and on to Foster. Wide of the line. Hit it off the net at a tough angle, and the Hurricanes get the point to tie us at 7. Just long. Mustangs regain the lead.
Again, a lot of back and forth already tonight. Both teams have a lot of the similar stats, so I think we're going to be seeing this.
Here's Foster, ACC leader with 53 aces. Best all time in Mustang history, and she pads that mark. Number 54.
For someone who did not serve this season, Foster is so impressive for so many reasons. Being able to get into her own, every time I've seen her play, her serve gets better and better and seems like it's getting faster.
That's the number entering tonight, 53, now up to 54 on the season for the transfer from Wichita State. The SMU coaching staff recognizing that amazing heavy arm that Foster has. Didn't get a ton of opportunities to serve, as Alex mentioned, last season for the Shockers. And the Mustangs taking full advantage of everything that she has on the floor. Jams Wheeler. Maya Tabron on that opposite side. Three 3-0 Mustang run. Foster. It's not just the aces, it's causing overpasses. Mustangs can't take advantage, though.
Overpasses like that are so hard to handle because you don't want to go up and happy birthday them because they're so far off the net, which means it's easy to make an error. So SMU did just what they were supposed to do in that chance and give themselves an opportunity to get that attack, but just couldn't do it with Nadia Okamore.
Chimay denied, but the Mustangs keep this point alive. Heredia Cologne met at the net by Okamore.
That ball was in such fast tempo to Cologne that the defender just couldn't get back and make sure that she could cover the ball. I saw her trying to make her way back in transition, but was just caught on her heels.
Celia Cullen will wait on her service as Brooke Frazier requests a towel to clean up some condensation on the SMU side, which, by the way, the TerraFlex floor back down this weekend. We were missing it last weekend. It was the only 2 games of the season where the Mustangs were not able to use this new surface because it was so busy. Basketball, volleyball, basketball, volleyball, basketball. There was just not an opportunity to make that change day to day. Mustangs still did fine, 2-0, back on the old hardwood. 11-8, the SMU lead. Hurricanes able to tool the block.
I can imagine that this SMU team is going to go ahead and commit over to wherever Cologne is. That is already her 12th kill of the game.
And now on service, Okamore. Gushing and Carr able to top Okamore on that previous attempt. Not that time.
Very impressive from Okamore, not able to get that kill on what would be a traditional hit for her, would be a slide. But right now, being able to get it on that right side attack, just getting a nice little left-right up and getting the kill.
3-point Mustang advantage. Badenhorst puts it in play. From the back row, Heredia Cologne.
Again, Cologne is on her 13th kill of the game. SMU needs to make sure that they do not have any solo blockers when she is going up, which means that the blockers just need to pinch in a little and then release out to the pins when it's set out there.
Rosado, senior. Here's Chimay. Gushing. Chimay and Okamore there. 6 blocks for the Ponies tonight.
The Chimay-Okamore duo is something that I would not want to see as a hitter. You can see Okamore getting over just in time, but Chimay had that one pretty much all by herself.
3-point Mustang lead. Here's Ellie Bolton. Dahlia Wilson can't get it past Foster and Chimay.
And that's the great thing about right now, having Cologne in the back row and Dahlia Wilson in the middle. Natalie Foster can stay put just to have those 2 hitters right in front of her.
14-10 Mustangs. Short serve, Miami able to keep it off the floor. Lopez to Tabron. Nothing Rosado could do about that. Mustangs have scored 3 in a row. They lead 15-10 in set 2. Mustangs dropped set 1, 25-20 to the Hurricanes. They retreated to a spot where the crowd could not see their conversation between sets 1 and set 2. Whatever reminders were put out there, whatever strategy was discussed, seems to be working so far, Alex. A 5-point lead in set 2.
SMU has really turned it around in set 2, honestly pulling together the biggest lead that either team has had tonight.
After the break, Bolton to Tabron. Rosado there. And again from the back row. This time, Mustangs keep it off the floor. Chimay with some runway. Cologne on the dig, and Lopez, that powerful left arm.
That was such an impressive swing from Lopez. I don't feel like she really had the runway that she needed. Now, she is a lefty, so she approaches far from outside the court, but she could have just gotten a little bit deeper to get a little bit more power.
Lopez, an honorable mention All-American last year, despite coming into fall camp of her freshman season late after playing in the U19 World Championships with Puerto Rico. Caught on quickly and wanted to compete for a position. She earned it. Quick set to Foster. Team leading 7 kills for Natalie.
We don't usually see Natalie Foster get as many sets as she's been getting early in the game, but there is a reason why she's third in the ACC in hitting percentage. She is extremely effective and efficient at the same time and really has some great clean looks thanks to setter Celia Cullen.
Natalie Purdue checks in for the first time tonight. She had limited playing time in 2 sets on Sunday in SMU's 4-set win over North Carolina, and a service error from her. 3rd of the night for SMU. That matches Miami's total. Lisa Paula-Gushing, an all Big West Conference performer a year ago with a service error. Back-to-back.
Both teams are just going to have to play a little bit cleaner. Definitely Miami if they want to gain a little bit of this momentum back and close the gap with SMU.
Here's Maya Tabron. 4 kills, 1 error on her 15 swings so far. Heredia Colon off of Foster and Cullen for the Hurricane point.
Again, if I was that middle blocker on SMU's team, I would just cheat a little bit towards Colon, wherever she was, if it's in the back row or the outside. Right now, she's getting the majority of the swings for Miami and doing great, hitting .522, being very efficient.
Moisito on service. That run ends in a hurry into the donut by Cullen.
I definitely think Celia Cullen is trying to make some different adjustments to the game to make sure that Miami cannot get into those long rallies that they're used to, especially as we've seen so much of in the first set.
5 points. SMU lead. Here's Foster. A dangerous serve almost to the floor. And that's key for Miami. Get her off the service line. They feed Lopez and do just that.
Miami definitely has to be practicing their back rows attack a lot during the week because they're so efficient in that. They run it so quick to where the SMU blockers cannot get set up in time, and that's where you see a lot of the tools coming from.
Feeding Wheeler. And Lopez gives SMU a free ball. Cullen to Okamore. Points. Ponies.
Getting the middles involved is going to be so crucial, especially as we continue to play this game. Because in the first set and even earlier in this set, we can see the blockers are getting a lot of good touches on the pin hitters on SMU side. And the middles are great hitters. So I think that Celia Cullen needs to continue to feed them.
19-14 SMU. Looking to even this match at 1 set apiece. Into the scoreboard and back down. Another chance for the Mustangs. That hung up there for a long time. Miami protesting that. Still able to get the point. It's one thing for it to go off the scoreboard, Alex, but that hung up beneath the awning on the bottom of the scoreboard for a couple of seconds.
I think I saw it rattle in between the lights. It said hello to Peruna up there and then came back down. It definitely gave SMU enough time to reset and think about it.
You see the total kills list occupied by a couple of Hurricanes who have been shining so far tonight. Heredia Colon has 15 more added to that total of 367, while Lopez has added 8. She had 325 entering the day. So much firepower on this Hurricane roster. Casey Batenhorst into the net.
What's really interesting right now is both teams have a very similar side out percentage, and that's why I think we see that it's been neck and neck up until this point.
20-16 Mustangs make it 21.
And that'll be the 6th service error for Miami tonight.
SMU has had 4. Bolton back to the line with the Ponies up by 5. From the back row, Heredia Colon hits that one low. Timeout called by Miami. Nadie Okamore, they call her the Queen. 4 kills so far this evening to go along with 4 blocks.
We usually don't see Nadie Okamore getting as many balls on the offensive side, but tonight she's hitting .429. So I think we know why SMU is definitely trying to speed up that offense, and she's
away when SMU received its invitation into the ACC. Mustangs officially joining on July 1st. SMU got that call and accepted the invitation during a volleyball road trip to Tallahassee, and that night knocked off Florida State. So certainly some flashbacks for people in the SMU volleyball program when the Seminoles come to town on Sunday.
I know they'll definitely be feeling a little bit of deja vu. Remembering back last year, that was such a great time for SMU volleyball, and then hearing that news made it even better. They're definitely going to be looking for that matchup again on Sunday to pull out the win again.
The priority right now is Miami across the net, and Hurricanes won set 1, 25-20. Mustangs in good shape here in set 2, leading 23-17, and Natalie Purdue re-enters. Came in to serve earlier in this set, and an immediate error. This time gets it across. At Purdue, she can't dig it out. Kill by Wilson.
Again, that's why I think that being a serving sub is one of the hardest positions to deal with, because you have to go in and be so mentally tough. One, you have a lot of pressure behind the service line, but then you got to go play defense.
Here's Gushing. Cullen to Tabron. Long. Miami is within 4.
Tabron definitely trying to find that deep corner and just missed it. SMU is going to need to stay aggressive as they go into these last 2 points.
And SMU needing just that pair to win set 2. Gets a timeout. Mustangs trying to earn their 20th win on the season. Ranked 10th in the nation, been there now for a couple of weeks, and reaching that milestone. A big deal for SMU as they continue to add to what's been a remarkable season. First time that the Mustangs have ever been nationally ranked, and have now climbed all the way up to number 10. Back on October 20th, the NCAA Volleyball Committee gave us an in-season look at the top 16, where SMU found itself number 7, an even better opinion from the committee than the voters in the AVCA poll have, Alex.
I think the top 10 wins is definitely a key component that got to the 7th place. Being the only team in the country to beat the number 1 Nebraska and the number 2 Pitt definitely weighs heavily on this committee.
Nebraska and Pittsburgh still only have 1 loss apiece on the season. And as Alex mentioned, both of those came from the Mustangs.
Definitely must be a great feeling from head coach Sam Erger and her team to be, the only loss from the top 2 teams in the country. That's really the only thing that they have in common, is that loss to SMU.
Well, that top 16, that matters a great deal for each one of those teams. If they can hold those spots, they'll be hosting SMU, hoping for some Moody magic in the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. They would host if that spot holds. And the atmosphere, as great as it's been this season in Dallas, it will get next level for NCAA tournament matches. Hurricanes able to extend set 2, feeding the Kansas State transfer, Wilson.
And you can see Wilson being a little confused here. I think she thought that a serving sub was going to come in for her, but ultimately she'll go behind the line.
The junior from Turkey. Coach Gondra says her best volleyball still ahead of her. Can't see a ceiling, but long on her service attempt, giving SMU great adjustments at intermission. What are the biggest ones the Mustangs need to make?
I think the Mustangs definitely need to keep pulling the tools out of the toolbox, which means that you keep needing to stay aggressive on the hit, but also mixing in those tips and roll shots to keep this Miami defense on their heels, because they're getting a lot up tonight.
Error committed by Miami. Just mentioned that they had doubled up SMU in the service errors category. Now even more so. 9 for the Canes, only 4 for the Mustangs. Here's Casey Badenhorst. She had an ace earlier tonight. Heredia Colon dug out by Tabron. Now a chance for Chimay, but Colon there on the block alongside Ashley Carr.
If Colon is not there for the kill, she is definitely there on the defensive side with the block. Her penetration is just amazing. You can actually see her elbows bent a little bit until she makes contact with the ball.
Heredia Colon at the line now. Wheeler right at her. Here's Lopez off of Wheeler's hands and down.
I would say that the Hurricanes are definitely coming out with the momentum on this set, which is something that I'm interested to see because SMU just won the last set, but I feel like you would never know right now. They're remaining with their composure, but it doesn't seem like they're being super aggressive.
Okamore. Oh my!
And maybe I was wrong, and maybe Nadie Okamore is the answer. That's already her 5th kill on the night on 8 attacks, hitting 500.
Celia Cullen continues to feed her teammates. It's almost impossible not to kill those balls. Cullen is up to 21 assists on the night. Miami throws a counterpunch. A 3-2 Hurricane advantage after Gushing's latest score. Cullen again feeding Okamore on the light touch. Cullen this time to Chimay. Chimay is up to 4 kills. Cullen up to 22 assists. Cullen the best to do it in the ACC this season. That's her number entering the evening with 884.
Celia Cullen is one of the best decision makers that I've seen. As we can just see in the last play, she gave it to the middle and then the right side to give everybody a different opportunity, but also keep the opposite side's blockers true.
Lopez at Cullen. Mustangs keep it alive. Able to hit it off hands. Hurricanes up by 1. Lopez. Chimay dug out by Heredia Colon, able to keep that one off of the scorer's table. Lopez with control on that attack. Not sure how she got that down in bounds.
Honestly, I'm shocked by that. She didn't have any time. Her reaction time was quite impeccable, and you can see her teammates congratulating her there.
Long on service. And Nia Chimay will have a chance. Look back to the initial meeting with Pittsburgh, and Chimay was held to a 0-0-0 hitting percentage. Since then, double figures in every match from that point through last Friday against Duke with 11. Then 9 against North Carolina, finally putting an end to that amazing streak. 5-5. Wheeler able to keep that one off the floor. Now Gushing going down the line. Off hands and a point to the Canes.
One of my keys to the game was Miami had to spread out their offense, and I think they're doing a phenomenal job with that. We've seen an array of back row attacks just from Lopez and Cologne themselves, but also their front row is really being dynamic right now.
Cullen to Foster. Heredia Cologne there to knock it back. Her second block.
Cologne is firing on all cylinders. I would keep my eye on her if I was an SMU player, both defensively and offensively.
7-5 Hurricanes. Tabron can't pull the Mustangs back within a point.
And right now, I think the Mustangs are trying to stay super aggressive, but I also think they're getting it down a little bit. You can see it on their faces that this Miami team is really giving them a hard time to score.
3-point Hurricane lead. Chimay pulls the Mustangs back within 2.
You can see Chimay there. She looks like she has a sigh of relief going on her face after being able to find a kill, tooling that block.
Tabron will have service. 5 kills, 7 digs, and 3 blocks for Tabron so far. Now here's Heredia Cologne. Wide of the line.
Only her 4th error on the day on 29 attempts.
Heredia Cologne and Lopez both getting tremendous amounts of work so far. Dahlia Wilson getting in on the action. Wheeler at Lopez, somehow able to keep that one up. Chimay can't get it inside the line. Point to the Hurricanes.
One thing I've noticed about this Miami team is that they take a lot of their passes overhead. If their platform is not there, they go ahead and just put their palms out and deflect the ball, and it's honestly seeming to really work for them.
Here's Mosito. Cullen to Foster. Heredia Cologne going down the line. Chimay is there. Now Wheeler. Wheeler fed on back-to-back attempts.
That's definitely one of the strongest attacks that I've seen on the SMU side tonight. Wheeler seems like she's getting a little bit frustrated by the block, but trying out different things. Right then, it seems like she went over the block into that deep court.
Mustangs within a point. Here's Foster. Mustangs get another ace from the all-time best to do it in SMU history.
And that's her 2nd ace of the night.
55 on the year. And considering how much is left in this season, Alex, this could get into unbreakable record territory.
I think everyone to come behind is definitely going to be looking at this record. And it's going to be really hard to break considering there's 2.5 weekends with this game and another game this weekend, and then the postseason tournament.
Back-to-back aces for the best to ever do it.
She has a serve that is just so remarkable. It's flat, it's clean, it's powerful, and usually pretty deep, so it's hard for those passers to get behind that ball in time.
And again, that number continues to rise. Incredible. Mustangs coaches embracing that right arm of Foster and worked a ton on her serves in the offseason, and it has paid off like crazy.
I know exactly what Miami tried to do there. Usually when a middle blocker is serving in the back row, you try to tip on them because you know, as a former middle blocker, that we're usually not as fast as those liberos and those DSs. But Natalie Foster said no, and she was able to get that one up.
2-point SMU lead. Wheeler keeps it off the floor. Tabron sends it over. Light touch there from Carr. Wheeler. Still going. Okamore ends the point. Chris Mykowski and Alex Glover with you on ACC Network from Moody Coliseum in Dallas, Texas. Reese Sorensen leading our crew behind the scenes. The first of 2 matches at home this weekend for SMU, as Florida State will arrive in Dallas for a match on Sunday, while Miami will head up to Pittsburgh in what has become the toughest back-to-back in the ACC this season. It is difficult on opponents for the Mustangs and the Panthers to be travel partners.
Definitely, the teams are dreading this weekend, whether you have the Panthers first or the Mustangs first. The scout has to be extremely efficient for both teams. So whatever team you get on that Sunday, you have to make sure that the team is really locked in on that middle day.
Pitt swept Florida State earlier today. 3-0 win for the Panthers. They continue to roll. Their only loss coming here in Dallas at the hands of SMU. Nadie Okamore. It does hit the floor. Point to SMU.
Really smart play by Nadie Okamore. We saw right before the last timeout that she also got another kill on the tip, on the slide specifically. So if I were her, I would continue to repeat what works until the Miami Hurricanes can pick it up.
In that win for Pitt, 3-0 over Florida State, Olivia Babcock had 19 kills and hit .519. She's pretty good. Here's Wheeler sending it over. Heredia Cologne down the line.
And that was a monster of a kill, especially for Cologne to go down the line. The defender doesn't have enough time to react, and she had full visibility with the block, the SMU block being pulled just a little bit inside.
And Heredia Cologne from the service line. Cullen back set to Okamore. In front of the blockers, 3-point SMU lead.
Celia Cullen is doing a great job right now feeding her middle. She's pushing the tempo, and that's really helping make sure that there's not a lot of long rallies going on between the Hurricanes and the Mustangs.
Cullen with 26 assists. She got up to 42 in the Mustangs' win over North Carolina on Sunday. Okamore with another block.
Back to back. What can Nadie Okamore not do? And honestly, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu right now. We saw on NCAA Volleyball this week that she got 4 blocks back to back to back to back versus the win last week.
5 blocks all told this evening for Nadie Okamore, the queen at the net. Frazier to Tabron going cross court. Nothing Rosado could do with it.
Seems like SMU is starting to really worry about just their side of the court, and they're playing their best volleyball right now.
5-point SMU lead. Went on a 5-0 run earlier in this set. 3 in a row right now. Make it 4. The queen putting her crown back on.
And you can see the pushing going on the court for very good reason. Nadie Okamore made sure that she got that inside hand pressed over the net in time and caught the Miami Hurricanes off guard.
Nia Chimay also gets credit for the block assist right alongside. Frazier to Chimay. And from the back row, Heredia Cologne towards the SMU bench on the line.
That'll be her 18th kill of the day.
And Rosado will have service. Rosado has 7 digs. Tied for the team lead with Melani Feliciano. Tabron up to 7 kills. That's her 20th swing.
That was a great swing by Maya Tabron, seeming to go just over that Miami block.
6-point Mustang lead. Here's Ellie Bolton. Light touch from Lopez. The other side for Gushing. No. Gushing again. Chimay and Foster continue the point. Lopez. Now to Heredia Cologne in the middle. Wheeler is there. Foster, light touch. Hurricanes keep it off the floor. Lopez denied. Lopez again. This time Bolton digs it out. But the Mustangs can't keep the point going.
Although the Mustangs did not get that point, they should honestly be holding a blocking clinic after that one.
Sam Erger asking for a quick conference with her team, trying to make sure that Tabron's okay, it appears. Maybe hit in the mouth during that sequence, asking her to give her a nice big toothy smile. Bodies flying there, Alex, and hopefully no worse for the wear. Smiling it off, of course.
Just looks like maybe got the inside of her lip. The hustle for both of these teams is really unmatched tonight.
That's that collision from Wheeler and Okamore, and even as she was falling to the floor, already a smile on her face. Like, ow, that hurts, but I'm okay. Would have felt even better if Mustangs would have picked up the point there, but it does go to the Hurricanes, pulling them within 5. Here's Tabron. Heredia Cologne. Now Chimay met by Gushing and Wilson at the net.
It seems like we're having a blocking match off right now. SMU and both Miami doing a great job of coverage, but just nobody was there for that one.
Hurricanes with 6 blocks. Mustangs have 9. Cullen to Chimay. Off hands and a point to the Mustangs.
Nia Chimay has such a high vertical that even if the ball is high, she usually tries to clip the hands of the blockers of the opposing team.
Here's Chimay, team leading 3.4 kills per set. In conference, she's been even better, 4.1. Lopez getting back in on the action, 13 kills for her.
You asked me earlier what I think this SMU team needs to do to just make some better adjustments, and I think that their off blocker needs to get a little bit better as this game goes on, as a couple of tips and rules have fallen.
Cullen to Tabron. And getting hit in the mouth has not slowed her down.
Definitely, that's one of those balls that is super hard to defend when it is rolling on the top of that tape. You could see the Miami libero trying to get under it to see if she could meet it on the other side, but it had already hit the antenna.
Into the red zone for SMU, 20-15. Tabron with the serve into the net. Teams are now a little bit closer in the service error category. Miami has 10, SMU has 6. Moisito will go on service. 13 aces for her this season. Cullen to Wheeler. Heredia Cologne, Foster and Cullen. Team back up again.
That ball was just a little bit too fast and a little bit too close to the pin. You could see Cologne, she had a little bit of an awkward approach and had to take it with her left hand. There really wasn't anything that she could do.
Here's Foster. Mustangs leading 21-16. On the overpass, Okemore takes advantage, and Foster is dealing, Alex. In addition to the aces, these serves that have resulted in overpasses have been a thing to comprehend for Miami.
Honestly, if there was one thing I could change about volleyball, I think Natalie Foster should also get the ace for that, because she was a huge contributor in Nadie Okemore being able to get that kill.
Another ace. I'm a broken record, but this is going to be unbreakable by the end of the season. Foster continues to add to her total, the best to ever do it for the Mustangs. 4 on the night. Season best, 5 aces. She's done that twice. Won't have a chance to add to it here.
Cologne just has the look of determination on her face every time she takes a swing. You can tell that she's putting her all in it and being super aggressive, and it's paying off tonight for her. She already has 19 kills, hitting .359.
Check myself there. Foster has had 5 aces 3 times this year. The first one against Nebraska. 23-17. Cullen over to Wheeler. Mustangs to set point. Casey Badenhorst with a chance to close out the Hurricanes in set 3. Heredia Cologne keeps the Hurricanes alive.
Cologne is one of the most impressive players that I have seen in ACC play. She's really dynamic from both pins as well as back row, and is able to hit an array of shots.
The leader in kills in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Chimay can't close out the set yet. Gushing to Bolton. Now Cullen feeds Wheeler to close set 3. SMU dropped set 1, 25-20. Stormed back with wins in set 2 and set 3. Badenhorst, that's wide. And a point to Miami to start set 4. And Heredia Cologne will have service. 20 kills. Long on that one. Heredia Cologne, 20 kills on 41 swings, hitting .366 tonight. We're running out of things to say about how amazing she's been. But we'll have more opportunities. Lopez trying to get back in the kill column. She has 14. They'll feed Cologne again. Cullen can't dig it out.
Cologne, again, we say we're running out of words, but she is so impressive. Her determination, you can see it on her face every single point. She knows that she's a rock for this team. She knows that she needs to support them.
Mustangs with a point on the service error. 2 of them already in this set for Miami to give the Mustangs their 2 on the board. Ellie Bolton with a big, deep breath before serving. Teams continue to trade errors.
Miami already having 12 serving errors. SMU having 6. Now 7.
Here's Lopez. Long on her attempt. It's contagious. Kanai Chimay put it in play. 3-3. Dumped over by Ariana Rodriguez. Mustangs able to handle it and get the ball to Tabron.
Such a great ball by Maya Tabron. She really waited on the set to where she could attack the top of that block. She got a decently fair transition out, but honestly not enough time from the setter dump.
Nia Chimay will continue. 4-3 SMU. Chimay with 6 kills and 7 digs plus 4 blocks. Lopez can't put it to the floor. Rodriguez over to Gushing. Gushing again. Frazier's there. Wheeler to Tabron. Well wide of the line.
Such a hard ball for Maya Tabron to hit. It was pretty wide. The transition wasn't great. She knew that she had to go high and deep and miss the court.
Gushing. Bolden able to keep it up. Free ball for the Hurricanes. Rodriguez to Lopez, can't take advantage. How about Gushing with back-to-back digs? And Heredia Cologne finishes things off for the Canes.
Cologne should have the name of the finisher. No matter how long the rally is, she always finds a way at the end to put the ball down.
5-4 Hurricanes. Cullen to Tabron. Down and out. Point SMU.
That one will just be outside of the antenna. We've seen a lot of errors both from the Mustangs and from the Hurricanes early in this set. I'm hoping to see them both settle in a little bit.
5-5. Tabron, the team leader for SMU now with 10 kills. Heredia Cologne, quick to the floor.
Like I said earlier, her visibility is just amazing. She can see the block so well. She knew she only had one blocker, Celia Cullen, out there. She could have hit the split, but decided to go down the line because she knew that faster attack would catch the defenders off guard.
Long for Moisedo.
The interesting thing that I'm seeing when I'm looking at the stats right now is that Miami's actually beating the Mustangs in kills, but they are just out-airing the Mustangs by a huge margin.
Here's Foster. Heredia Cologne at Foster. Mustangs can't get it across.
Again, another high-level play by the Hurricanes, knowing that Foster was back there. Yes, she has a great serve, but if she has to defend that ball, she's usually going to get attacked because as a middle, you're going to be the weakest defender in the back row.
Here's Rodriguez, the Olympian. Played on Team Dominican Republic in Paris, and her service run will continue. Youngest player on that Olympic roster.
Ashley Carr did a great job making sure that she did not commit to one side, even when that ball was out of system on the SMU side, because Celia Cullen is able to go against that flow like she did in the last play. She was able to get a block.
Here's Wheeler. Jams is up to 7 kills. Not quite up to her standard when it comes to hitting percentage tonight, her efficiency. Had 3 consecutive matches hitting over 400, right now at 227.
I would say for most of these SMU players, the Hurricanes are doing a great job of defending them on the block. If they're not getting a block, they're getting great touches. So I think the SMU players are definitely probably getting a little bit frustrated in the front row. I think James Wheeler has done a great job trying to mix up her tools and find those hands.
Wheeler hit negative 059 against Virginia Tech on the first day of November, and followed that up with 3 consecutive matches over 400. Here's Chimay. Point Mustangs, tied at 8.
The Mustangs are doing a good job of pulling more tools out of their toolbox than we saw at the beginning of the game. I think at first they thought they just had to be super aggressive and go find those hands, but as we've seen, this Miami Hurricanes team is very, very disciplined on the block, so you've got to find ways to score.
Off the tape and over. Rodriguez feeding Heredia Cologne. 25 kills.
And the same thing that I said for the SMU Mustangs also goes for the Miami Hurricanes. As we've seen a couple packages of Nadie Okamore and Natalie Foster, they've been doing a great job blocking tonight. So just finding ways to go over the block or around the block is going to be crucial.
The Queen back in her court.
Nadie Okamore just has been a force to reckon with on the slide attack tonight.
Hitting 600. 10 kills on 15 swings. And Tabron with a team-leading 11th kill on the overpass.
Honestly, in the back of my mind, I've seen Maya Tabron do this time and time again. That is not a player that I would want to give an overpass to.
Wheeler at the line. Lopez met by the Mustang wall.
And when it rains, it pours, and Maya Tabron definitely knows a lot about that. When you get her going, she's really unstoppable.
Mustangs have scored 3 straight. Now leading by 2. Carr can't put it inside the line.
Just in the last set, I think this is where you can see the SMU team pulling away from those Miami Hurricane errors.
Cano Gondaron needs a timeout for Miami as the Mustangs have scored 4 straight to 1 over the Hurricanes. Miami took the first on this Friday night. Here's Gushing coming out of the timeout. Can't get it to the ground. But a free ball for the Canes now. Rodriguez feeding Lopez. Now Tabron. Tough angle. But gets the point for SMU.
Such a high-level play by Maya Tabron. That thumb down on that outside attack is so hard to defend, especially from an off blocker who's coming in for tips.
Gushing. Able to beat the SMU block that time.
Gushing definitely saw that the SMU middle blocker Nadie Okamore was a tad late on the block, and she really used it to her advantage and just powered through her block.
Dahlia Wilson re-enters for the Hurricanes. Here's Rosado. Cullen feeding Okamore. Nadie Okamore with 11 kills.
And there she goes again. The slide is really her attack of the night. She's been so efficient back there. We've seen a couple of cross courts attack from the slide specifically. I think that's what she was trying to do there, but actually just got to clip the inside of that middle blocker's hands.
And our cameraman, Rick, decided not to keep panning right. Would have said I'd have made a great catch there. Nia Chimay on the block for SMU. SMU with now 12 on the evening.
Nia Chimay pressed over just at the right minute, and she pressed fairly inside of the court because she probably felt that Natalie Foster was a little late and not able to close the block.
15-10, the Mustang advantage. From the back row, Heredia Cologne up to 26 kills.
And that is just a bullet from Cologne. You can see her so deep into the court, so she has that runway.
Here's Lopez, all ACC first team last year as a freshman. Here's Gushing. Wheeler digs it out. Cullen to Tabron. Pushed over. Tabron again. Now a chance for Miami. Lopez, low.
I'm not sure if that was the right decision to go back to Lopez after she had just taken that dig.
Lopez had a team-leading .353 hitting percentage in Miami's win over Wake Forest on Sunday. Tonight, hitting .162. Heredia Colon improving her hitting percentage that before that swing was at .438. We'll let the computer catch up and do the math, but .449 now. Gushing picks up the ace for Miami. SMU and UM now tied in that category, 5 apiece.
The momentum has definitely been going back and forth for the Mustangs and the Hurricanes tonight, and right now, it's definitely on the Hurricane side.
From the back row, it's Nia Chimay.
Nia Chimay will put an end to that. Again, just a high-flying hitter. She's coming from the back row, barely behind the 10-foot line, which is giving her great visibility of the court.
Tabron with her team leading by 4, 17-13. Off the tape. Heredia Colon dug out by Tabron. Now Wheeler diving by Rosado to keep it alive. Behind the back shot by Heredia Colon, and then Heredia Colon there on the block.
You can see her just cheering for herself as she should. I don't think we see this many times. Hit behind her head and then turned around to get the block. That's extreme discipline for every single skill on her side.
That was the walk back in glory like a prize fighter. Cullen deserves some praise now. 37 assists and a second kill.
And Celia Cullen just had to get some action herself. She does not usually dump the ball because, of course, she has a great offense and loves to feed them. But when she does, she's very efficient and it's very strategic.
Cullen, by the way, one dig away from a double-double. Heredia Colon knocked back by Okamore. Point to SMU. Took a moment, but SMU registers it.
The Hurricanes have definitely had a couple of communication errors that have taken the momentum from their side tonight.
Here's Foster. 4 aces on the night. Nearly had a 5th, but travels just long. Coach Sam Erger immediately reaching for the challenge card. If the call is reversed, this will be the 4th time this season that Foster has 5 aces in a game.
And I'm sure if she knew that, she is going to go back there with even more determination just to try to beat her own record. At this point, she is her biggest enemy in this skill.
Our first look on replay. Awfully close, and our officials do have better looks than that. This may be helpful. Looks just long. A bit of blue separating. That distinguishable color change looks like it's just past the line. Getting deep into the match, and Coach Erger choosing to pull out the challenge card, take a chance on it.
If I were to take a chance on anybody at that serving line, it definitely would be Natalie Foster.
Foster has 7 kills on the night to go along with her 4 aces. single season aces leader for SMU, but unable to add to that mark.
Call is confirmed. The ball is out.
As that ball is out. SMU loses a challenge. And Miami pulls within 4. Here's Ariana Rodriguez, the freshman and a veteran of the Olympics. Rodriguez feeding Heredia Cologne. 35 assists now for Rodriguez, 28 kills for Cologne.
One thing I can respect about Cologne, it seems like every time she's going up to attack this ball, she is attacking it with full force, no matter where the set is. And that's something that just comes with a lot of reps because she is very efficient tonight, hitting .423.
Rodriguez on service. Wheeler. Right back to Carr. Rodriguez feeds Cologne for the kill.
Again, one of the best visibilities that I have seen for an outside. She is able to attack the split almost every time there is one. Okamore did have to stay true to the setter there because the ball was tight. So Cologne was really able to attack that.
After 3 straight points, SMU wants a timeout as the Mustangs' lead has been trimmed to 2. Well, Ariana Rodriguez will return to the service line out of the timeout. This summer, she was the youngest player, and Cal had 71 assists in those 2 wins. And Heredia Cologne, coming out of the timeout, gives Miami its 4th consecutive points.
Another thing that head coach Kino said about Heredia Cologne is that she is an emotional leader on this team also, and you can really see her team rallying behind her after every single point.
Cullen, long pass to Wheeler. Lopez lifts it over. Now Cullen to Okamore. Kept off the floor by Rodriguez. Cologne. Okamore was there.
You saw Okamore just get blocked in the last play, so now she's trying out a couple different of her shots. Nonetheless, able to come in and provide for this SMU Mustang team with the block that she is so efficient with.
9 blocks for Okamore, plus 11 kills. Went over on the block, nearly picking up a double-double, but Heredia Cologne instead picks up her 30th kill.
Chris, I don't think we see the double-double with the kills and the blocks as often.
That is a new season high for Heredia Cologne. The Miami Roofing Company in business on Friday night in Dallas. Gushing and Carr.
Both teams now being in the red zone, they're going to need to play their cleanest and most effective volleyball.
20-20 in set 4. Cullen to Wheeler. Gushing, met by Okamore. And Chimay, double-figure blocks for the queen at the net.
11 kills, hitting 400, now 10 blocks. Her stat line tonight is absolutely insane.
Chimay primarily on the block there, but Okamore next to her gets the assist. Long and a point to SMU.
Miami is challenging a touch. Original call is no touch.
Miami challenging that latest ball going out of bounds. Mustangs 3 points away.
And you can see Cologne on her side telling her players, just settle down. Next point, next point. And I think that's where we can see that she's really the emotional leader on this team.
Gushing at Brooke Frazier. Now Tabron. Miami unable to get it across. Tabron leading SMU with 13 kills.
That's happened a couple of times on the Hurricane side tonight where it's kind of unknown who is going to get that third ball. Definitely a few too many communication errors on their side.
Tabron with 10 double-doubles on the season tonight.
Some good selections for who's going to host.
And for Miami's part, trying to build this resume, Coach Gondara told us that he would not want to be on the committee this year. A really tough job, so many good teams throughout the country, but he just wanted to make it clear to the committee, as far as where the Hurricanes belong, by winning them all. Put your head down and get up at the end of the season and show that group that the Miami Hurricanes should be dancing for a 4th consecutive year. Mustangs to match point. Heredia Cologne blocked by Okamore and Tabron to close out the evening. Mustangs win in 4.